Thank you for being here. I think we're halfway through. I know it can be exhausting to go through these with these exciting ideas, but I appreciate you being here today. I'm an associate professor in the Department of Communication. My name is Phaedra Pezzullo, but today I'm talking about a center that I'm director of starting this year called BoulderTalks. So as many of you know, we live in an age with more topics, more people across greater distances through a wider variety of mediums than ever before. But I want to suggest today that we aren't necessarily fostering more knowledge or stronger communities. Here's a question I was asked by an environmental group in a poll last month. Maybe I'm an outlier in this room, but I'm pretty sure that at least 95% of people in Boulder and anyone in an environmental organization would have spent money in all 8 of these areas. Communication professionals today often like using online polls to provide deliverable big data to clients, but not every poll is equally informative. And some topics are harder to talk about than others. A quick online search of topics says that we should not discuss at work politics, religion, finances, hot flashes, Viagra side effects, and much more. So I thought I'd just say them all here in the room today. Please don't fire me. But more seriously, can you guess the hardest topic to talk about right now? Guesses, guesses. There was a good guesser in a previous talk. More than abortion or marriage, global warming is the most polarizing topic in our country today. So we face a dilemma. How do we foster community and build knowledge when important topics are polarizing and many communication practices might not build useful knowledge? That's why BoulderTalks exists. We're a new CMCI center that is aimed at helping people across a variety of differences engaging each other on the most challenging topics of our times to build knowledge and to strengthen communities. To these ends, BoulderTalks is involved in a range of activities that encourage students to help develop their voices across the political spectrum. This means we identified students with an interest in going to the GOP debate that was on campus last fall, and we mentored them through that process. Most of them, as undergraduates who were registered Republicans, had a lot of emotions and feelings about what it meant to go to that event, and we talked to them about that before, during, and after. We co-sponsor TEDxEU, which circulates from thousands to over millions of views, involving speech coaches as well as judging speech topics, and we help publicize events that students might want to attend from a range of political perspectives. I love my job, and I can do without BoulderTalks. As a professor, I've shared my work in the Sorbonne, and I've been a delegate at COP21, and I teach over 150 students every semester on rhetorical foundations, if you can imagine, going from ancient Greece till today. But what's really exciting about the potential of BoulderTalks is not me. It's about our capacity to offer students transformative possibilities and opportunities to learn communication in real-world contexts, addressing challenging topics. So this year, we have 4 themes, which I'll note very briefly. First, food. On the Front Range, as many of you may have noticed, local food and the farm-to-table movement is quite popular. But it might be pretty surprising to you to realize that it's only estimated that 3% of all food consumed in Colorado is actually local. You wouldn't be able to tell it by walking into any grocery store in this town. One reason might be language choices. As one Chicana noted to me in a meeting I was facilitating between city employees and Latinas, quote, "We don't call it farm to table. A fresh tortilla is just food. Where else does it come from?" End quote. So at times we work at bridging cultural divides. BoulderTalks recently has begun to partner with Foodshed, a coalition of businesses, government, and nonprofit leaders in Boulder County attempting to promote regional food. The argument is that if everyone wants to eat Palisade peaches, it's not so useful to just give miles to declare what is local food or what is not. It has to be something a little bit more complex than that. So what is it? And they're using this idea of Foodshed to promote conversation. So BoulderTalks is helping them build capacity through, for example, this spring we're doing a high school art contest on the idea of a food shed that will judge and involve a silent art auction to get people thinking outside the common sense of local food into more complex questions. Another topic we work on is energy. In a place like Boulder, climate science is taken for granted, but that leaves a great deal of controversy. BoulderTalks has been fostering conversations about a just transition. That is, how can we think about social inequality and economic opportunities while passing policy related to climate change? This is a picture of a public meeting. One of our executive committee members and facilitators trained by the CU Boulder Environmental Center gathered together where students and community members are discussing entrepreneurship. not your usual climate change topic. BoulderTalks has also co-facilitated a bilingual workshop just this morning in Longmont at the Latino Chamber of Commerce. Our third topic is communication praxis. That's how communication theory and practices inform each other. My co-director is working with an interdisciplinary team of scholars and students to foster conversation about resilience discourse in Boulder, as well as across the 100 global cities in the Rockefeller Cities Global Challenge. This is an image of a game that she and her students have started to use at city meetings to try to have an innovative approach to encouraging useful discussions about how we can adapt after a disaster. Finally, our fourth focus this year is diversity and difference. For example, BoulderTalks is helping facilitate dialogues about campus climate at CU Boulder. Namely, we've been invited to help facilitate discussions about how our students feel welcomed, but also how they experience exclusion, harassment, inequality, stereotypes, and microaggressions. This picture is of a graphic recording, which is something we like to do at our public events to help people think through these difficult topics, not just with words, but also with images, and it often can help with these controversial issues when we use them in real time during the discussion. Overall, BoulderTalks is quickly becoming a valuable center on and off campus to foster community and knowledge in polarizing times and in innovative ways. We've already begun partnerships to address challenging topics such as fostering conversations across the political spectrum, local food beyond sound bites, climate change's economic consequences, how to play games after traumatic disasters, and imagining a more inclusive campus. We've only existed for a year and we're relatively small, but given the number of entities that want to work with us, I believe our center is fulfilling an important niche and we look forward to growing with CMCI.